Okay, so today I'm going to try and modify my Atomic Guy's custom lens cyber goggles because they're great and they work nicely on my wigs, but because there's no padding here, it's a little bit too uncomfortable to wear on my head, like just as is, if I decide I don't want to wear a wig. So I finally decided I'm going to get some rubber padding and yeah, see if I can fix it up. So here's a thing I ordered from Green Stuff World on Etsy because they actually make exactly what I need, and let's have a look. Yeah, little rubber things, and hopefully they're the right size. I think they're all pretty standard, but we're gonna give it a go and see if we can get this to work. And oh my god, there's so many of these packing peanuts, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna have some fun just like squishing them all to fit in the bin, oh my god. Or can I make something out of them? I don't know. Anyway, let's not get distracted! No, wait, I am still distracted because I found these in there. So we've got, like, I think this is a sticker maybe, and a discount code for going on their website again. I don't know if I'll buy anything else off them because, like, it's other creative stuff. It's not like a cyber shop. Although they had some kind of cute little beads, I think, from memory. Anyway, getting distracted. More stuff in there. Let's move on. All right, so, yeah, they look pretty good, and they, you know, feel nice and rubbery. And if we have a look... yeah, it does look like it fits. Now, the difficult thing is going to be getting the strap through here, especially because these ones have this nice little extra bit. So I'm going to do that off camera, and if I'm successful, yay. If not, we'll look at what other solutions we have to get the rubber on there, because I have seen different ways of doing it. So yeah, give me a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, yay, I made it happen. As you can see, I've got the rubber on this side, but not on this side. And yeah, it actually fits quite nicely, like, especially considering it wasn't specifically made for these goggles. I'm surprised how well they fit. Now, there is a slight difference between the two, and I think that's to account for the angle. So even though this sort of looks symmetrical, it actually isn't. And so originally I was trying to put this on this side and it wasn't working. So yeah, you will have to work out which one's which. But it's pretty obvious when you start putting it on and it doesn't quite fit. Just swap them around and then yeah. Now, in terms of getting this through everything, I did have to take the whole strap out of there, which meant removing this. So that was a little bit tricky. I mean, I was considering like cutting into the rubber so that I could get it around without doing that, but then it would have looked a bit dodgy, and like, how do you get it to stick on there so nicely? So what I did is I removed this thing, and you can see it's got these, if we can focus, it's got these little chompy bits. Oh, I've popped one out. So I'll bend that back in. But yeah, so you take that off and then it makes it really easy to, you know, just thread everything through. So I guess I'll show you how I did it on this side. And I'm sorry, I'm not really a tutorial channel, so this is going to be a bit tricky, but I'll do my best to show you what I'm doing. Now, I don't have any specialized tools to get rid of this, but what I do have is like, you know, just some pliers. I used to use them for doing electronic stuff, I guess. And so I will admit I did, you know, obviously mangle this slightly. You can see it's not as flat as it used to be because I have gone in there and stuffed around. But, you know, this is a better option than cutting into the rubber. So trying to do this on camera is really difficult. But if you can find somewhere you can slot that into, just get it in there as much as you can, because I think that'll hopefully help it not warp so much. And then just pull it open. So I don't know if this is possible with all cyber goggles, but with the ones that Atomic Guys gave me, yeah, it's quite easy to do by hand. You just need something to get in there and pry it open. From there, you can just pull this all out. Where am I going? Sorry, it's hard to look at the camera and do this at the same time. Pull that out. Yay! And then, sorry, I need to look off camera to see what I'm doing. So you want to try and match up this with here. And as you can see, we've got 3 slots. So you do lose one of the slots if you liked that look visually, which I kind of did because it's kind of like shark fins. But if you want the rubber, you're going to have to put it over that. So we can... sorry, I'm going to try and keep it in frame while I look off camera. Don't watch what I'm doing. Have we matched it up? Sort of, almost. Yeah, sort of match it up like that, and then from there, just try and work it around. Yeah, I don't know how tutorial channels do this stuff. To keep checking, I still got it in the camera. Okay, yeah, and so that's nice and securely on. There's a few bits that it sort of flops off. I think the spikes kind of get in the way, like maybe it would be more snug if I didn't have them, but that's part of the look, isn't it? Okay, so once you have that, just try and work out where you're going, pop it back in through the hole there. So in there, so it still looks silver on this side. Can I see what I'm doing? Yep, through there. That's the trickiest part. And then you can come back around to here, thread it back through, and thread it back through. Whoops, if I can see what I'm doing once again. Yeah, I did like see if there was some tricky way to, you know how like they have those puzzles where you've got like a loop and you've got to get on and off a thing? I did try something like that and looked up a few puzzles, but I don't know if that's possible, and I'm probably not smart enough to figure it out. So I just got to try and make sure that I get all the, you know, I don't want to warp any of these little things as best I can, and I will have to fix the other one. Might be easier to do off camera, but yeah, basically just try and get it on there. Now you might get some hairy bits, and so I'm trying to keep the hairy bits hidden in there, and then you can just use your fingers to gently, so you can see it's a little bit warped already, but if you push enough, you get it on there, and then I would try and crunch things down a bit more. I think overdoing this is what made one of the teeth come out on the other one though. So yeah, you can kind of see that clamps in there, and just push it on. And I mean, hey, well, I'm being a bit of a perfectionist here, but you don't really have to, because once it's clamped on, you know, you can see it pulls there nicely, and then it works as a stopper. And just don't overdo it, I guess. And so then we've got the rubber bits on. All right, and here we are. So now my goggles have this extra padding. Of course, I had to readjust the straps, because if you put the straps too tight, obviously that's going to make it uncomfortable. But now I've got the balance. Now, obviously, because they're black, it does sort of change the image a little bit, because I've got black spikes on silver. And when this edging was silver, it meant the black spikes, you know, sort of stand out more, especially from that angle. So you do lose a little bit of that. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could try spray painting it, but can I be bothered? Probably not. Yeah, so I'm sort of trading a bit of the visual for the comfort. But yeah, particularly like, I wouldn't wear my goggles like this, but when you go like this, you feel the difference. Like, it's actually much nicer on your eyes there. And so yeah, it's just adding a little bit extra. It's not perfect. I do have have a bit of a problem with like hard headbands, for example. So anything that goes around my head, I do get fatigued from it, but I'm hoping that with these extra rubber padding and, you know, getting my tightness settings nice, that maybe I can wear these for longer without having to wear a wig. And yeah, I think it does feel better without a wig. I should have put them on before I made this video, just so I can get a real comparison. But yeah, and then I'm hoping maybe that'll make an extra difference when I'm wearing my wigs, because the wigs are a lot harder. Like, I can't really do much to adjust them, but I can adjust the goggles. And so having that over a wig with all these, you know, the wig itself holding onto your head and then these holding onto your head, I'm hoping that's one extra thing that'll make it easier for me to wear all these things longer, for longer periods of time. Now I just want to show you also, these are goggles that I got from Cyberlock shop. So these were Atomic Guys, obviously Green Stuff World is the rubber stuff, and then these are from Cyberlock shop, and as you can see, they actually already came with rubber padding. And I think for those of you who don't want to buy these molded ones and don't want to go through the whole thing of you know, using your pliers to open up the little silver bit, maybe you could do what they've done here, because what I can see is I don't think that this rubber is molded. I think they've probably gotten a bit of tubing, sliced it open so that it'll go over the edge, and then they've put a little staple thing in there to try and hold it together and made this cute little point, whereas mine doesn't have the point. It's just like a flat, you saw how it was. So yeah, if you want to get that look as well, that's an interesting kind of thing. But they did have to put in these little, I don't know, sort of round staples, rivets or whatever on the inside. And I think that connects to, you can see there's some on the outside as well. So that might be a little bit more involved, but that's another thing you could do. And it feels a little bit different. It's a little bit stiffer rubber, I think, whereas I think this is a softer rubber. But that's another option and something you can try. And so yeah, now I'll see if I can wear this more longer term. I don't know if I'll do any updates, but I hope that was helpful. A couple ways you can do it, showing you how, and I think I'm done. And